All right, I want to welcome everyone to our live Saturday morning presentation. As you can see by the opening, we're going to be talking about creating referrals. And as I've shared with you in the past, we put together this synergy funnel. It kind of gives you a roadmap of exactly what you need to do. You can find this funnel. Let me switch over to my other browser window. So if you go to Our Synergy Family, let's click here. So if you go to oursynergyfamily.com, you'll see the icon for your synergy funnel. If you click on that icon, it's going to take you to this page here. And we've been, over the last month and a half, been building out this funnel. Step one, creating awareness and attraction, helping you develop your elevator speech, be able to create interest, make people aware of what you're doing, what's your mission statement, and doing it in a way that attracts them to want to get more information. That Saturday presentation was recorded. The PDF that we shared is here. All you have to do is click on that image and it'll take you to the PDF that was used. It has scripts on how to create your elevator speech. And then once you've created awareness and interest, people are going to want more information. That's the whole object of what you're trying to do as you move people down through your funnel. And in this process brings you to step two. What information do you give to them for consideration and to convert them either into a product user, a customer, or a business builder, a team member in Synergy Worldwide? Again, that Saturday presentation is here. The PDF that we used in that presentation is here. All you have to do is click on the image and it'll take you to the PDF. And then once you've got a customer, your objective is to convert that customer into a client. That's a different relationship. And so we gave you some strategies on how to be able to do that, how to engage your team member, especially with the 10-10 Club, and helping them understand in the 10-10 Club as a team member how they can begin to build their customer base to create cash flow for their Synergy business. And then as they attract other business builders, team members to them that they personally sponsored, how to properly sponsor and place them underneath their tracking center one so that they can begin the process of creating residual income and maximize the Synergy compensation plan and help the people that they've had the right words here, the opportunity and privilege to sponsor in the Synergy Worldwide, to work with them effectively to help them build their Synergy business by, again, taking them down through this funnel. And so we've got a bunch of different information pieces for you to help you do that. And then retention and reinforce. How to keep your clients. We did a whole Saturday presentation and we gave you some good ideas in that whole process of keeping clients. And so what we want to do today, going back up here, when you look at this funnel, we're in the retention part. And we want to help you understand, and we talked about this in one of our presentations, how to use a newsletter, an email newsletter to help to retain your customers. Well, today we want to talk about a referral program. So let's go back to today's presentation. We want to look at how to create a referral program that will continue to place people into the top of your funnel, and you'll find that your referrals will go through your funnel a whole lot faster than initially new people that you might come in contact with to create awareness and attract them to you, because a referral has a different level of how they perceive you. You're already working with someone who has referred them to you, and so that someone they know, they respect, and that someone can validate what has happened to them through you working with them. It just makes it a whole lot easier for your referrals to go down through your funnel. And the goal is to get loyal customers. You want loyal customers that buy the Synergy products every month or every 3 months if they're on a jumbo jar, or every 4 months if they're on the jumbo jar plus one, because they love the value that they're getting from the product and they're willing to spend the money for that value. Or having dedicated business builders on the business side of the equation. The left side is your customer side of the equation. The right side is your business side of the equation. So today we want to talk about referrals. And you can do a very simple Google search. Just open up a browser window in Google and just type in creating referrals. And you'll see a boatload of articles that'll help you understand this process. 7 surefire ways to build your referral business. 6 simple strategies for generating business referrals. How to build a customer referral program. So we're going to spend time today, this Saturday, in looking at this process. Now, before we start, if you're in a position to write these things down, I would absolutely tell you to write them down, because these 4 things I'm going to share with you are key to any referral program. And if you are not going to do these 4 things, then today's webinar is a waste of time for you. You might as well just click off. Because if you want referrals, then these 4 items are critically important for you to get in your head, write them down on a piece of paper, and then it's your responsibility to put these into action. And the first one is excellent customer service. Now, there are people that I do business with that have asked me for referrals. And I can tell you that if some of the individuals who ask me for referrals, I would never, ever refer anyone to them. And it has everything to do with their customer service. And I've been in business for a long time. I've worked for people, and I've employed over 70 people when I had my health club operations. And I can tell you that the key to any business in terms of growth, profitability, is excellent customer service. If you understand your product and you provide excellent customer service, the probability for your success exponentially goes up. So how you like to be treated by other people from a customer relation standpoint, you need to treat your customers that way. Give them excellent customer service. The second thing, you have to have a plan. If you do not have a plan, then you don't know where you're going. You need a plan. You'll need to implement that plan. And then as you implement the plan, you'll find out how you need to refine that plan to make it even more effective. So if you're not willing to put together a plan, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you some things that you can put together into a plan, and then you need to implement that plan, which means that you need to follow through system. You know, if you're going to implement a referral program, then you need to follow through with that referral program. Because if you don't, then you're just wasting a lot of time. It's the follow through that is going to help you see how you need to improve your plan, what's working, and how you can better serve your clients and convert your clients to advocates. And then the last thing is read, learn, and implement. You know, you can always learn from someone else who has an effective referral program. They'll spark ideas in your mind, and you'll be able to say, okay, if I did this, I could most likely implement that as a strategy with this slight twist and have a positive impact in helping me to grow my referral base. So your referral base is going to come out of your customers. Now, one of the things that people forget in business is they're always trying to acquire new customers. That's important. But you want to maintain your customers. And if you maintain your customers and do a good job in that process, many of those customers become clients, and many of those clients become advocates. Advocates who, even without your prompting, even without a defined referral program, will actually refer people to you. So let's go through some ideas here and help you understand. So the first thing, and this may seem basic, but I remember like when I was playing soccer, you know, unless someone explains something to you, what's obvious to them that should be obvious to you is not necessarily obvious to you. So for example, I had a guy who played soccer over in one of the European countries. He had come to the United States. He was on our soccer team. Yuri was his name. He was from Czechoslovakia. And one day he came up to me in practice and he said, Dan, I don't understand you. You know, I say, Yuri, what are you talking about? And he says, when you pass the ball, you know, don't you understand how to properly pass the ball? I said, Yuri, what are you talking about? He said, when you come up with the ball and you've got a defender in front of you, just watch your defender, and as soon as he puts his foot on the ground, you can pass the ball. You can pass the ball a foot away from him on that side of his on the side of his foot that he puts on the ground, and he'll never ever be able to intercept the ball because his weight's on his foot. And boy, that improved my game immensely. That one simple observation from Yuri, who had grew up with soccer in Czechoslovakia and came to America and was now playing for the Northern Illinois University team. And he took me under his wing and taught me a lot of things that I just didn't know about soccer that improved my game. Well, if you want referrals, you need to set yourself up in the beginning by asking for referrals. It's going to increase your probability of getting referrals if you set the environment to receive referrals. Now, asking for referrals at the start of your relationship with a person, a new customer, is a waste of time. And the reason why is because you've got no trust built up. You have not established a trust with them. But you can set the environment for referrals. And you can set it with two items: your mission and your expectation. So people love to be part of a mission. It's an inherent aspect of people. Most people want to help other people be successful. And if you have a mission, and Simon Sinek talks about this quite extensively, if you look at some of his material that's on YouTube and other locations on the internet, he talks about having a mission. People buy into your mission. And so if you share your mission, you know, you're part of the Million Lives Project, and your mission is to help 1 million people or more understand how they can use nitric oxide therapy to naturally improve their health. And so, Joseph, as you're using the product ProArchain Plus, I'm here to help you use that product properly so that you can get the best use out of that product to address your cardiovascular health needs. And if that product meets your expectations, and if ProArchain Plus helps you achieve improved cardiovascular health, lowers your blood pressure, which is one of the reasons why you're using this product, would you consider helping me with my mission to get this information into the hands of as many people as possible so that we could help them benefit from nitric oxide therapy and improve their cardiovascular health? Would that be something that you would help me out with? I use a question, and then the person's going to tell me yes or no. Once I've asked that question, once I've set the expectation and put it into the context of a mission, then I've set the expectation, and the person tells me yes or no. And the person tells me, no, I don't think I'll feel comfortable with that. Then I need to respect that. And I never bring up the issue again. And as I build the relationship, maybe that will change where they do feel comfortable sharing with others. But if they say yes, then I mark that down. And that becomes a person who's a customer at the beginning that I need to cultivate into a client who I hopefully can cultivate into an advocate as I work with that individual by providing good customer service, helping them have a good experience on the Synergy product. If it's ProArchain Plus, improving their cardiovascular health. If it's using something like the Biome Protect Kit for weight management, helping them implement that program effectively so that they're seeing pounds and weight come off, especially around the midsection, and people are beginning to ask them, man, you look good. What are you doing? Well, I've been working with a guy named Dan on resetting my gut health, and I feel fantastic. Again, if I've set the expectation in the beginning and the person has agreed to be part of the mission if they get results, then I can come back to Joseph and say, Joseph, you know, when we talked at the beginning, we talked about the Million Lives Project and helping 1 million people or more understand how that if they reset their gut health, they can improve their overall health and wellness, especially if they have any desire to get fat off their frame and reshape themselves. Joseph, you've seen fantastic results. Has anyone come up to you and asked you what you're doing? And I just know from being in the health club business that when I ask that question, the probability is most likely 9 times out of 10 that person's going to say yes. Well, Joseph, remember when we talked about maybe sharing this with other people so that we can help them achieve their health goals, especially if one of them is weight management? Do you feel comfortable maybe referring me to those individuals, or at least giving my business name and phone number? You know, the next time that they say to you, man, you look fantastic, would you just say, hey, you know, if you like what you're seeing, you know, if you like how I'm reshaping the kind of health that I'm having, I'd highly invite you to call this guy Dan. Here's his phone number, and he can help you the same way that he's helped me. So again, it's you asked the referral, but you asked for the referral in the beginning by setting up the expectation through a mission. And then those that respond positively to that, as you work with them and help them achieve their health goals, you come back and remind them and see if they're still willing to open up their family and friends, their network, to either directly give you names that you can call or pass your information on to people that they believe could benefit from what you've done for them. Now, remind them to refer you. So we kind of addressed that, but how do you do that? Again, it's your mission statement and communication method. So I'm first going to show you where to find information, and then I'm going to show you how to pull this together into one strategy that you could use, a takeaway strategy that you can use. So there's the old school method, which is sending a snail mail letter. And the old school method is highly effective in this type because most people don't get email, or they get emails, but they don't open emails unless they actually know who you are, because people get bombarded. It's like advertisement. We get bombarded every day with so many advertising messages. People get bombarded in their email with so much email that they're highly selective in terms of what they open. So if you send them a snail mail letter, no more than 100 per month, because again, you want to be able to follow up. So you could do 1,000, you could do 2,000, whatever you wanted to do if you had that many customers, but your follow-up is going to be extremely ineffective. As opposed to just doing 100 per month, do that every month, that's 1,200 letters in the course of a year. With a proper follow-up system, you'll increase your probability of adding a lot of customers, referrals, to your funnel. So if you ship to your customers, like some of us do, we already have their addresses. If you process your customers through Synergy Worldwide so that their orders are going through Synergy, then what you need to do is you need to go into your back office. You need to hover your cursor over the word order. You'll see a drop-down menu. There's 3 things that will drop down, and the last one is order history. Click on order history, and you'll see something like this. And you'll see your complete order history. It's on multiple pages. And what you can do is you can go down and you can look for retail orders. You'll have spot orders, you'll have, if you're on a monthly auto ship, and then you'll have retail orders. These are your customers that bought on their own, or you initially helped them get set up with Synergy Worldwide. So you look for the retail orders, and then over on the left-hand column, you'll see in blue the order number for that order. If you click on that blue number, it'll go immediately into the order details. And on that order details, if you scroll down, you'll see that person's name and address. And all you have to do is just copy it and paste it into some type of Word document or whatever you're going to use, Excel sheet, or whatever you're going to use to generate your labels. Now, if you've been in Synergy for a long time and you've got a large customer base, then again, do this piecemeal. Take a day, an hour within that day, and go through page 1. And go through page 2, whatever use 1 hour of time to go down through your pages, look for retail orders, click on the left-hand column, the blue numbers for the customer order number, and then copy the name and address and put it into your database. And
hey,
then
Dan?
Yes, Judy.
So I just found something that might be helpful.
Okay.
If you go under customers and under reports,
yes,
you can actually export the customer file via an Excel spreadsheet.
Do they give you the addresses?
I'm not sure. Maybe
okay.
Just the email address.
Yeah, so that's my next one. I'm glad you brought that up, Judy, because I looked at both of these today to make sure that the information I'm going to share. So on the customer report, they give you the person's name, and if you click on the person's name, they don't give you any address information for that person. They give you their history. You can click on buying history, preferred customer history, all the other stuff, but there's no addresses involved in that. They give you the email addresses, but there's no addresses for that person under that customer report. So I'm going to make the assumption that if you're going to do an email campaign, then yes, the fastest way for you to get that information is go into your back office, hover over reports, click on customers, and then you can export that into an Excel spreadsheet onto your computer. But if you want to do the old method of a snail mail letter, then it's going to be a little bit more work involved in this. But again, everything is like you don't eat an elephant in one bite. You eat an elephant one bite at a time. So start with the left leg of the elephant and slowly work your way up. So like I said, take an hour. Go into your back office, hover over order, click on order history, and then just scroll down one page at a time. And once you've finished your hour, if you still have more names to go, then write down on a piece of paper, I stopped on page 6. So the next time that you have an hour of time that you commit to this, you can start on page 7 and continue the process. Maybe in that hour's time, you have 50 names. Maybe you don't want to start with 100. Maybe you just want to start with 50. Just start at some number. I would suggest that you do at least 50 or more on a monthly basis. That's 600 contacts, letters sent out. You'll get referrals. As you increase the number of people that you talk to, the probability of you getting referrals increases. Is there work involved in it? If you're going to run a business, there's always work involved in a business if you want to grow it. If you're not interested in growing, then don't do the work. But if you're interested in growing, then do the work, but do the work smart. Find the ways that you can speed the process. Now, as we talked about, Judy, if you want to send them an email, then again, you can get that through an Excel spreadsheet by going into your back office, hover over reports, click on customers, and then you can click on export to Excel, and that will then put that database of their name and email address into an Excel spreadsheet that you can then use for an email news or an email letter that you send to people. Now, bringing this all together, here's my suggestion. Well, I'm sorry, before I do that, you need to also decide whether you want to have a reward or an incentive. That if you're going to put together a referral program, are you going to give them an incentive to reward, that you will reward them with if they give you referrals? Now, I noticed that Synergy just had a blog post of these t-shirts that they've just come out with. I like them. They're very stylish. Live Life Optimized, Pro Arch 9 Plus. So for us that are doing nitric oxide therapy, this is just a nice t-shirt. Cost is $25 through Sound Concept. If you've never ordered from Sound Concept, and you want to place an initial order, there's a promotion for 20% off. But again, $25 for some people might be a little bit steep, but maybe you do that for a person who gets a jumbo jar plus one. Again, you have to decide what you want to do. The other reward is $10 Visa gift cards. You can go online, you can type in Visa gift cards, and you'll find plenty of places that you can order them online. They can be virtual cards or they can be physical cards, and you can start with $10. Now, is it worth $10 to get a referral that goes on products? Again, you have to make the decision whether you feel that that is worth it. If I've got an existing customer who gives me a referral, is it worth giving them $10 for a referral that ends up going on product? I don't give the referral unless they go on product. So again, you need to think this through. Now, if you decide to do something, then here's a suggestion on how to put this all together. Now, as I've shared with many of you in the last month and a half, 2 months, our whole marketing strategy in 2019 is the Million Lives Project. Whether you want to use it for nitric oxide therapy or the microbiome, the Million Lives Project. You could do it also for cholesterol through the metabolic LDL. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can use the Million Lives Project. For the Million Lives Project, for what I do in nitric oxide therapy, it's helping 1 million people or more understand how they can naturally improve their cardiovascular health through nitric oxide therapy. If it's the gut microbiome, it's helping 1 million people or more understand how they can naturally reset their gut health to improve their overall health and wellness and address issues like abdominal distress and weight management. Again, you just need to decide what you're doing. So here's a piece that could be used for a referral program. Nice image. I personally like this image. I always like images where people are directly looking at you. There's eye contact as opposed to people looking away from you. The eye contact draws you in. And I like this image because it's multicultural. It's multi-age, and they're happy. They all have smiles on their face, and they look to be genuine smiles, not fake, phony stuff. So here's the piece. New referral program offered through the Million Lives Project. Now, why do I say that? Well, first it tells you it's new. So you can go back to your existing customers and use something like that this is something new. This has just been put in place, and I wanted to share it with you. And who's putting it in place? This thing called the Million Lives Project. I want to let you know that I'm part of the Million Lives Project. Their goal is to help 1 million people or more understand how nitric oxide therapy can be a natural way to address most cardiovascular health challenges. And to help them achieve their goal, they have just announced a new referral program. You're making them part of this mission, and this is like new. You're hearing this for the first time. I'm letting you in on this process, this secret, this thing that the Million Lives Project has just started, and I thought of you, and I wanted to share it with you. The details are simple. Again, you want to make this in their mind as simple as possible. Oh, I got to write down 10 names. No, all right? The details are simple. If you refer a new client to me and they decide to use our product of choice, Project Plus, then I'll send you a $10 Visa gift card. Here's my contact information. Again, you can use mine if you want to do this, but I'd suggest you change that to your contact name, phone number, and email address. Just make sure that they let me know that you gave them my name and number. Or better yet, let's talk about how you and I can work together to help bring this message of nitric oxide therapy to as many people as possible. Just think of the impact we can have on helping our loved ones live a more vibrant life. Now, why did I put that last paragraph on there? Because I want them to be part of the mission. Mission driven is going to get you more results and referrals than a $10 gift card. But the $10 gift card is still nice. And so, again, if you send this by snail mail, you want to follow up with the people that you send it to. For every new client that you got, and I don't know if I can find this in Synergy in terms of their phone number, but every new client that you got, Synergy sent you an email letting you know that you had a new customer, what their name was, what their email address is, and what their phone number is. Now, sometimes people who sign up online don't put in their phone number. And sometimes they may not want to give the phone number to the customer support people. So sometimes you may not have that. But again, if you do snail mail and you can get their phone numbers, you want to follow up to make sure that they got the letter you sent them. It gives you a reason to follow up with them, see how they're doing, take some time in the beginning. If David is a master at this, of having notes in his follow-up system of important things about the person that he's talking to, that's his client, so that when he calls them, he can key in on certain things. I remember us talking about your daughter going to college. How's that going for her? Is she enjoying, what college did she go to? Is she enjoying what she's doing? Has she determined, what her career path's going to be? Now, after again, depending upon how social you are, will determine how much time you spend there. But if you're really a social person, understand that, don't make that a half an hour conversation. And if you're a less than social person, and I don't mean that in a negative way, that's just that you have a hard time engaging people in that type of conversation, then, just make the attempt. How are you doing? I wanted to follow up. How are things going on the product? Did you get my referral? Did you get my letter that I sent you? Did you have a chance to open it? Does the new referral program being offered through the Million Lives Project have any interest to you? And so again, through a series of questions, you can gauge their interest in wanting to participate in that process. And again, if you send out 100 letters, don't expect 100 people to refer people to you. It's a numbers game. But you make it 10 to 20 people who are willing to work with you to refer people. Maybe you'll even get people, like I've got a customer, Marcel in Chicago, who's approached me that he wants to sell the product because he's got all these people asking him what he's doing. And he's been sharing what nitric oxide therapy and Proagen Plus has been doing for him. All right, so in your process of following up with people, you're going to find some people who want to become business builders or have no interest in being a business builder, but love the mission, want to be part of the mission, want to help their family and friends. And it's nice that you're going to give me a $10 gift card for doing it. Now, just some closing thoughts. Focus on the top 20, your advocates. So understand the process of advocacy. In your funnel, as you gain customers and you have a follow-up system and you help those customers have a good experience on the product, those customers become clients who want to continue to reorder product. And as you work with your clients, some of those clients are going to become advocates. It's the 80-20 rule. 20% of the people get 80% of the job done. So you want to focus on helping to create as many advocates on your client side of the equation as possible, because 80% of your referrals are going to come through your advocates. So work to create advocates with excellent customer service. Understand that rewards are not expected. It's a bonus, but it needs to be tied into your mission. If you're going to have a reward, don't offer them just the reward. Hey, I want to give you a $10 gift card for referrals. Well, I'm sorry. If someone offered me $10 for a gift card for referrals, I'm not interested. I don't need the money, all right? And so I have no interest in a $10 gift card. But if it's tied to a mission and that mission resonates with me, yeah, I can see I love the mission. So yeah, and I love what the product's done for me. I then have a better buy-in to the mission, and then the reward becomes a secondary. It's like a gift for participating. And then I can choose to do with that whatever I want to. Say thank you on a regular basis. Again, in this process of cultivating customers to clients to advocates, you need to have some type of thank you process on a regular basis, and make sure that when you send a thank you to a person, share it with a testimonial tied to the mission, so that they can see that the product that they're taking is actually having a benefit on other people and gives reason for the mission. The whole purpose of the Million Lives Project is to help 1 million people or more understand how nitric oxide therapy can naturally benefit address cardiovascular health concerns. So if you tie your thank you to thank them for being on the product, thank them for being part of the Million Lives Project, and you're part of this mission. And here's an example of one of the people that we've been able to help improve their cardiovascular health, and then share that person's testimonial. Short, sweet, to the point. And then you could put a thank you, your name, and then under that put a PS. If you're interested, the Million Lives Project just announced a new referral program. Send me back an email and I'll send you the details on it. Now, that PS, a lot of times people will read the PS. Oh, in referral program. I wonder what that is. And if they then easily reply back on your email, you now have separated the people that you know would be interested in the referral program, and you can send them details and then follow up with them, because you're moving them into a different classification. You're moving them from clients to advocates or potential advocates. And then the last thought that I have for you is set a target date to implement your referral program. All right? Most people are not going to be able to do this tomorrow. We're coming up to the end of March. End of February. March is the next month. So pick a date in March that you want to implement your referral program. Create your needed tools, and then be ready to implement on that date, and then implement every month to increase your probability of growing your client base. See, once you have your tools in place, once you have your plan of action in place, then all that's left is for you to implement. And then as you implement, you don't need to create new tools. You just need to implement. And then as you implement, you'll understand the weak spots in your program. What do you need to change? How can you reword this so it's more effective? What kind of feedback did you get from the people that you followed up with, so that you can understand their motivation to be part of your mission or the overall mission of the Million Lives Project? So that always gives you valuable information as you implement and follow up to see how you make your refinements to your process. Refinements are a whole lot easier than just creating a new tool. And so you can continue to refine this program so that by the third, fourth, fifth month, you've got a system that, again, if you discipline yourself to implement every month, not in an overwhelming way, but in a way that you can manage effectively, then you're going to increase your probability of growing your client base. What does that do? Well, for someone like Arnold Broad, who's now consistently doing over 4,000 CV of volume on his Tracking Center 1, that's over $1,000 of elite rebates coming into him. You know, as he continues to grow his client base, every month that continues to grow. So the reward's there. Now, is it financial freedom? I should say financial independence? No, but it's certainly great cash coming in. I mean, if you had $1,000 coming in through your customer base every month, for most people that more than takes care of their mortgage payment, definitely takes care of their car payment, maybe even 2 car payments. You know, what were expenses to you before are now covered by your Synergy business. Or if you don't have car payments and you don't have mortgage payments, then that's an extra 12 grand coming into you. What can you do with that 12 grand? You know, sit down with your spouse, your significant other, your family. Hey, you know, what do we want to do? That way you can get the family to buy into your mission, because there's a, you know, the time that you spend doing this takes away from your time with them, but hey, it's providing a benefit to both you and your family. So there's all different ways to look at this, but the key is you got to start, you know, set a target date, and then you got to implement, because nothing's going to happen without implementation. Well, with that said, do I have any questions from anyone on today's presentation? You'll have to unmute yourself, and I'm not going to unmute everyone because then we'll get a bunch of background noises. So just go in and mute yourself, or you can type into the chat box and send me a question or a comment.
And this is Tracy.
Yes, Tracy.
I really like the do like something like the gift cards. You know, that's something that, you know, I work for the blood centers, and you give blood, and they always have special promotions, you know, on this date, on Valentine's Day, if you give blood, you get a $25 gift card.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody donates, and they want that gift card right now. They have to wait until it processes, but, you know, so that's incentive for them to go out and give the blood.
Sure.
And so it's really awesome that, you know, and it's really easy. You know, most of us can go into any supermarket, any Walmart, and get a $10 gift card.
Yep.
So it, you know, it's like you don't have to go online to do it. If you're going to do it in bulk and, you know, massive quantities, you would want to do it that way. But then, you know, you can always do that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Tracy, just to follow up on what you've said, I look at it this way. I offer a $10 gift card for a referral that goes on Project Plus. Okay. So,
exactly.
So let's look at the economics of it. I give to my referral $10. They've given me a person that goes on Proc. So what's the minimum that that person could go on? 1 box. Ordered through Synergy.
$70.
Yeah, but the CV value is 60, so 60. I get back $15 in elite rebates. So yeah, instead of making $15, I make $5. But when I look at my back office, 90% of the people who are my customers and order, what do they order? Up in Canada, they usually order 6 or 7. Here in the United States, they typically always order the Jumbo Jar Plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's $42.50. every time
So
they do that.
you've made money and, just shared, the profit.
Exactly. And those referrals come into my funnel and they go down through the funnel a whole lot faster. And then I can offer to to the people that came into my funnel through referral, I can also offer them the referral program. And they even understand it better because that's how they came into my funnel.
Yeah. So I really like this, I really like today. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else with any questions or comments before we say goodbye?
Hello, Dan. It's Donald.
Yes, Donald.
I just want to add a step or two to the process of going into the synergy or going to your back office. And I think with synergy, it's like 3 months that comes up automatic. So you might want to go in and change your start date, or you select your search date.
Sure.
And take it back further.
Mm-hmm.
And apply it, because if you don't click apply, then it doesn't give you the, let's say you go to for the full year or March, then you don't get all your customers from March through February.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And with that, because I've been trying this recently, and all I've been getting is the last 3 months.
Sure.
And so thank you for that.
Thanks for that information.
Sure, Dan.
Anyone else with any comments or suggestions or questions?
Hey, Dan.
Yes, Judy.
Yeah, of course. Awesome as always. And what I really liked about what you said today is that you are not giving a reward for referrals, but you are offering a thank you. And I think that goes a long way. People appreciate that more because they're not going to work for $10.
Right.
So
yeah, you're going to attract them more through your mission, and then this is just a thank you for the referral.
Yep.
Dan, this is David. How are you? Good morning.
Good, and yourself?
I'm doing great. Great presentation, Dan. Thank you, and thank for just a refresher. I like the part where you talked about doing it piecemeal, not trying to take a whole gob at one time, and that's so important. Not to overwhelm yourself, but what I particularly like, of course, is the thank you cards, which which is a great refresher and a reminder that when you send small notes and thank you cards, that really sets you aside from, I dare to say, 90% of the other people that may have sold products, because it's very rare that someone would take the time to send a thank you card. And I've implemented that with my customers, and it does come back. I mean, they remember you for sure. And that, of course, when you do your follow-up and touch base again, the relationship is a lot stronger doing that. So thanks for that. You're
welcome. You're helping build loyal customers.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, and I've got customers that have followed me for years, as you do, Dan. And just because of reaching out and doing small things and calling them on their birthdays is really important also. Mm-hmm. I try to put that on my little birthday app I have on my phone, and it comes up every day, and I try to reach out to them.
Great. Thank you, David, for sharing. Sure. Anyone else before we say goodbye? All right, I want to thank everyone for your time today. We have recorded this. It'll go up on Tuesday. The video will go up on Monday on YouTube. The newsletter goes out on Tuesday. That will have the link to the video. You'll have also a link to this PDF, and this will also be placed into the funnel here. You know, building your synergy funnel, this will end up being placed, wrong page here. This will end up being placed down here in this, what would be step number 5, retention and reinforce. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed Saturday. Bye-bye.